What's going on, guys? And today we're gonna be that intro probably threw you guys off. Maybe felt like I clipped something out, but I didn't. But today we're playing some more simulators since that seemed to be reasonably well received in the comments, and people said they wanted longer videos, especially for Sim. That was actually one guy's comment, but a lot of people seem to like Sim, and the idea of having a little bit longer videos where we just talk about random crap. So today we're on a track called Get High. You can probably tell why it's called that, and you can probably reasonably infer that it's... Why is this gearing really messing with me right now? I was in like 5th gear spinning a tire, that was messing with my head. But you can probably tell that this track is called Get High because it's pretty high and not literally getting high on weed, although the guy that made this track was possibly high on something given the way the track appears. And a lot of people said, oh, you gotta play Sim in third person, so we'll do a bit of third person for those people that would like to see that. But yeah, I don't really have any specific topics to talk about, but maybe I'll think of some other just random news stories and tidbits I've heard throughout the week. I don't know. Maybe I'll discuss the track until I think of something. We'll figure something out and see how these types of videos go over. And maybe I'll start like a Q&A inbox or something, just so I can answer questions. But oh wait, that's what Fan Mail Friday is. Haha, there's your shameless plug for that. But yeah, topic to talk about today. I guess we can start with the presidential candidates, maybe, because they're not looking so hot. Doesn't really appear to be any good choice for president of the United States for this election. They all seem to be pretty awful. None of them really stick out as being good. Maybe a couple of them are not as garbage as some of the other ones. Like Hillary Clinton's an idiot. She just lies about everything. Ben Carson, he's not qualified to do anything. He's a surgeon. He's got no place being anywhere near the office, and I really hope he doesn't win because that guy's a moron. He just knows nothing. God, Bernie Sanders is kind of communistic. He wants everybody to be getting high on weed, man. 420, blaze it. Bernie Sanders, that's apparently his plan, just to get everybody high. He wants to legalize all of the marijuanas, which actually I'm perfectly okay with that. I think if you legalize marijuana and tax it pretty heavily, I think that will generally benefit people. Because I remember somewhere in Reddit, I was reading a story like in Colorado, they legalized weed, obviously, because we all know Dio. Yeah, he's a Dio. You know, we all know Dio from Colorado, and he's the Colorado guy who's always high on... No, I'm kidding. But Colorado legalized weed, and apparently because of that, in the next year or two, a bunch of students will be able to go get some marijuana scholarships. The tax money from marijuana will help pay for college for a lot of students, and a lot of people are obviously on marijuana, and a lot of people are smoking anyways, and if you legalize it and put heavy taxes on it, sort of like they did with cigarettes, that taxes could actually be very beneficial to the rest of society. And especially in Michigan, it could fix the roads. Or some congressman called, I gotta restart here. If you fall off this track, you just get fucked. But there's a congressman in Michigan that's like, oh, it should do this pot for potholes thing. You want to legalize marijuana and use the tax money from that to pay to fix the potholes. Because if you've ever been on any road in Michigan, you will know they're not good. You almost need a jacked up truck just to go down regular roads, or you risk losing your bumper on a pothole or something stupid. The roads in Michigan are they're terrible. It's just, But he said, like, oh, we could use the money to fix the roads here. Why is this gearing is, like, really messed up. Why am I, like, in 5th gear spinning my tire? That's messing with my head right now. Alright, let's just get over here and let's try not to die. But this track is just retardedly big and it's fun. I don't know. It takes me a long time to figure out how to do a lap here because I usually end up crashing at some point. Ooh, okay, we didn't case that. Alright. Brakes! We're gonna hit the wall. I can never stop in time. Never manage to stop in time. Other thing, people seem to ask me a lot, what's your favorite brand of bike? Oh my god, what's your brand? Where's your fanboyism at? I need to know your brand, so get me up. I'm like, no, I don't. That's not something I'm one to really care about. Brands, I don't really fanboy over anything. I try to be as objective a person as possible about everything, so when you start getting subjective about stuff, then shit just hits the fan, and stuff starts getting all crazy, and bad things happen when you try to be subjective. If you try to be objective about things, you can usually make a pretty educated decision, so yeah, that's the way I try and view everything that I possibly can. And objectively, I'm not anywhere near a professional enough to be able to tell the difference between a bike. Like, other than the Hondas having dual exhausts, if you just, like, put white plastics on everything, well, the same white plastic kits on everything, and gave somebody a bike and asked them what brand it was, I guarantee you 10 times out of 10, maybe like 9.999 times out of 10, people will not be able to tell you what brand it is if you have them all with the exact same plastics kits. and with the same just single exhaust, nobody will be able to tell you what bike they're riding, I bet. At least nobody in the comments will, because I guarantee none of you are professional enough to actually be able to feel any sort of meaningful difference in them. Which is, again, why I don't understand this whole fanboys. And fanboys in general, they just drive me nuts, because they just ruin the industries of everything they're in. It's like, that's... It's like with console wars, that's just always, it kind of actually makes me laugh, because people try and defend it. It's like, mine's better. No, mine's better. Mine's better. No, mine has SRAM. Mine's better. It's like, no, if you just stop being an idiot. Don't try and argue the Xbox One's more powerful. It's not. That's the fact. You can't just pull stuff out of your ass and try and... I don't know, I just don't get, like, there's a comment somebody's like, oh, I have to buy a new console every couple years to keep up with it, or something like that. He's like, oh, every year or two I have to buy another computer to keep up with a PlayStation 4. It's like, no, do you understand that they're not changing them? I guess the Xbox lost its connect when Microsoft finally realized that nobody wanted to deal with their shit with the... Oh my god, we're tossing out a front flip. Ooh, god, oh boy, what's going on? Oh, we're getting nutty. It's like, the Xbox One would have sold a lot better if they didn't try and force people into buying that retarded Kinect with it, and if they, instead of trying to force a Kinect down everybody's throat, they just made a more powerful console that could compete with the PlayStation 4, because objectively the PlayStation 4 is a better console, because it's just more powerful. There's nothing else to say about that. You can't try and argue that, but obviously PC is the way to go, because it's more powerful than both of them will ever be, and a lot cheaper. So there's another thing to discuss. People that try and say, oh, you can't do PC, it's so expensive, when in reality it's not, because for the price of a console, you can build a computer that will outperform the console, and it will actually do 1080p games, unlike the consoles. Because people try and say, oh, my consoles do 1080p, it's like, no. Calling a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One a 1080p gaming device is like calling my computer a 4K gaming computer, because I can run Minesweeper at 4K on my computer. That doesn't make it a 4K gaming capable computer if I can run Minesweeper at 4K. It's not how it works. What was I saying? I was saying something else I completely... Oh yeah, right. PC people say, oh, it's so expensive, I can't do it. It's like, no. For the price of a console, you can outperform it with the computer parts, and in reality, if you look at prices of games, like if you look at Steam... but if you know anything about Steam, you know that everything goes on sale at some point. Like, everything. Like, the other day, MX vs. ATV Reflex was like $1.99 on Steam, and MX vs. ATV Unleashed was like 99 cents on Steam, and it's like, yeah. Even if the hardware ends up being more expensive, the games are still a lot cheaper if you try and factor in buying 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 games. It'll be cheaper on PC because Steam is glorious with all of the amazing discounts and sales on everything. Like, everything goes on sale. It's just ridiculous. Like, Grand Theft Auto 5 was 33% off not too long ago. There's so many good Steam sales, and then people try and argue about, ooh, well, I've got more exclusives. It's like, no, if you want to call them exclusives, PC has far more than anything else ever will, because it just does. And the fact that you can emulate older console games on a PC, those aren't really exclusive to that anymore. It's just like, you ignorant fucks, stop arguing about just meaningless garbage. Just do your research before you try and argue about any points. There's another oh, okay, Sim just crashed. That's what the hell? What's going on here? Something just got nutty and broke on me. I don't know what's going on right now. Okay, Sim just started having this little seizure. Apparently we've got some sort of a crash issue just happened there. So we're going to, I guess we'll just leave that all where it's at. New race. We'll just start on Detroit, I guess. We'll move into a different track. I'm not entirely sure what's just happened there. My OBS preview just kind of froze. Nah. Yeah, Sim's kind of frozen right now. I don't know what the hell's going on. This is rather intriguing to me right now. Hold up. Can we fix this? Can I fix this right quick if I just do that? Is that going to fix it? Are we good now? Oh no, I have 2 instances of Sim open. This is interesting. Okay, how'd this happen? Hold up. We gotta close that one. I broke Sim, guys! Alright, where are we at right now? I don't know what's going on. Okay, so somehow I broke Sim a bit. Just gonna go back this way and get back on track, hopefully. But that's the other thing I was saying about doing your research. In debates of really any type, in reality, any kind of debate, if they just had a person there to fact-check people, would that not be just the most amazing thing you've ever seen? If, like, everything people say in debate had to be... They had some guy, some college intern sitting there on a laptop fact-checking everything people say. Wouldn't that just be great? So they'd actually have to be telling the truth in debates, and it would have to be rooted on facts and evidence rather than most debates about anything really just being a bunch of meaningless bull crap people make up to try and get you to join their side. Because when it comes right down to it, move the microphone down a little bit, but when it comes down to it, like most debates, they're not there to be based on fact or anything. They're just there to get people swayed onto your side of an opinion. You're there to persuade people to believe what you want them to believe. You're not there to actually, like, provide a meaningful, intelligent argument. It doesn't matter what you say, as long as people agree with you, right? There's another thing, I guess, as long as we're just talking about stuff, should I have, like, do you want the sound from the game in the background of these kinds of videos, or should I just, like, have the game be quiet and just have silenced gameplay in the background so that you can, like, just have it open in a tab or something and just hear some probably not so intelligent discussions about garbage that's going on instead of having to hear the bike in the background too. So I guess if you want to just watch the thing and have this going in the background, maybe you don't want to hear the motorcycle sounds from Sim, maybe you do, I don't know. Let me know if you guys just want the gameplay to be silent so there's a Sim for those that want it, as I'm actually playing Sim live while I'm talking about this right now, so there's an interesting idea. Or if I should just, like, not have, just silence the Sim gameplay and record it in 2 separate instances. Let me know, and we're gonna fall off that cliff right now, that's great. And let's try and toss out some sort of a double backflip right there. I guess the other thing to talk about, there was that airliner that crashed, apparently like a bomb or something blew up the airliner. So that's a new trend. Is that just some new fashionable thing, just to crash an airliner? Is that the new thing in the industry? Is that how you get publicity? By killing a few thousand people? I can't. Oh yeah, there's that trans-Pacific argument thing or whatever, that's great. There's so many funny things going on right now. The world's just a nutty place, isn't it? Kim Davis lost in court again. Oh, that's not surprising. Yeah, I'm definitely not checking Reddit for topics to discuss right now. Yeah, we have to restart this race because we're getting stuck. Alright. How do I find a specific subreddit on this Reddit client? I don't know. Oh, here we go. I don't know, if you guys don't know what Reddit is, you gotta get on Reddit. It's just this... Reddit is... If you don't know what it is, it's just magical. Just go to reddit.com. It's like everything you could ever want on the internet is there. Everything. Like, if you watch the news, most of the news just seems to be pulling their news off of Reddit stories. Like, the news will just report on a story before it's been confirmed. It'll just be like a link to something on Reddit, and the news will immediately start reporting on that, assuming it's true, when in reality it's Reddit, so they could have been, somebody probably just made a troll. It's just... If you're on breaking news, Reddit's actually the place to go. That's /r/news, because it just gets there first. If you want, like, videos of ISIS people getting blown the fuck up by the US military, that's not a half-bad place to find it. I guarantee that there's a subreddit for anything. It's like, what is it, Rule 42 of the internet? It's like that, but if you want something on the internet, there's a subreddit for it, probably, most likely, and if there isn't, you can go ahead and make one. Like, there's a motocross subreddit, which isn't there's not a ton of traffic on there, really hardly is any traffic on there at all, really. But there's /r/gifs, GIFs, there's another thing to discuss. Is it GIF or GIF? Screw you people, it's a G, it's a GIF. You call... Jif peanut butter is J-I-F, isn't it? That's it with a J. It's not GIF. It's GIF, it's not GIF. God damn it, I got myself confused there. I don't know, it's just, those are the first world arguments to talk about, because we are the first world, and go us for being industrialized and that kind of thing. Minnesota is considering lowering drinking age to 18. Apparently there's a loophole with Obamacare in Minnesota, and they can lower the drinking age to 18 without losing any money. Look, we should all move to Minnesota. That's awesome. Like, I don't care why the drinking age is 21 and to be legal in America. Because, like, in other countries, it's just whenever you want. If your parents approve it, you can go ahead and get drunk whenever. It's, Like, in reality, if they lower the drinking age, that'd probably be a good thing, because then there's, like, a while ago, maybe a couple of years, there's some kids in, like, California that were trying to get drunk, but instead of just raiding the parents' liquor cabinet, they decided to get drunk on hand sanitizer, because they're like, oh, there's some sort of, like, benzyl alcohol or something in there that kills bacteria or germs, and they just decided to drink hand sanitizer to get drunk. Yeah, it didn't work out too well. I think one of them died, and the rest of them ended up in the hospital, and it's just, like, how stupid. Like, when you think humanity's making progress, and you'll hear a story like that, and it's just like, God, how do people do this? I thought we were more advanced than that, but I guess not. There are also like there's some people like I saw a subreddit today. There's a comment thread. People are like discussing if you can get drunk on gasoline. And it's just like, what do you people do? Just go ahead, drink 5 gallons of it, and report back to me next month how you're feeling. And yeah, there you go. There's a solution to that problem. That's natural selection at work, ladies and gentlemen. That's yep. Just go on, chug a few gallons of gasoline, and that's the fastest way you're gonna be able to get drunk, believe me. Oh, Florida. Oh, Florida. Oh yeah, apparently there's that UFO sighting over California not too long ago, like last night I think as I'm recording this. People don't seem to understand that was a missile. The Navy was testing a missile or rocket of some type, and people thought it was a UFO. Like there's the classic rocket vapor trail behind it with the bright light where the engine would have been burning, and people thought it was a UFO. And it's like, it's a missile. There's that classic like rocket vapor trail thing, and here's something else to talk about. This is what concerns me about this new generation of people, is Twitter. Because people go on there, and somebody will make like an absolutely retarded post like, only one night in the year, Mars is visible from Earth. And it's like, no, it's visible many times a year if you have a telescope, and like they'll put up a picture of the moon, but they just like use Photoshop or GIMP or even Microsoft Paint just to color the moon red. And then people will see it's like, oh, the moon's, it's literally just the picture of a red moon, and people say, oh my god, that's Mars, this happened before, it's only once every 5,000 years. Despite the fact that it only happens once every 5,000 years, there's a picture of it right there that somebody took 5,000, it's like, no. That's not how the solar system works, that's not how anything works, idiots. Like, somebody could just make one retarded post on Twitter that has absolutely no merit to it, it's like some obviously photoshopped image. And there'll be idiots that actually believe this crap, and it's like, what? It's like, oh, it's 12, 12, 12. That's the first time that's ever happened, or like 11, 11, 11. It's like, this will never happen again until next year. And it's just like, what? Like, people just make absolutely retarded posts there that have no merit to them. Like, there's these big accounts that have like 500,000 people following it. It's like, this makes some completely retarded post, and people will both take that as truth. And it's like, ooh, this guy said it, it's true, it's on the internet, it's truth, I know it is. And then they'll try and use that as a fact, and it's like, that's not good. That's really gonna, that's not gonna be good when these people grow up and start just, they'll see one thing somewhere and assume it is fact without doing any research, and it's like, oh boy, this is not good. Like, technology is great and all. It's nice that it connects you. Like, today you can just like have the collective information that the collective knowledge of all of humanity can essentially fit in your pocket. But people just people seem to be thinking of being able to access all of the knowledge of humanity in your pocket as knowing everything that all of humanity has ever done. It's not the same. For every website that means something, there's probably at least another 50 or 60 that don't. Which there's another stat that actually would be interesting to look up and see if it's still true. I don't know if anybody else remembers back in the day where it's like, for every one educational website, there are 10 porn websites. It'd be interesting to see how that fact has changed over time, because that was like from many years ago when the internet was kind of a new thing. And when the internet was kind of a new thing, it was mainly a male-dominated space, and yeah, there was a lot of porn on it, at least like the 8-bit type stuff. And as the internet has evolved and more websites have become to be used for education and whatnot, has that actually, it'd be interesting to see what percentage of websites make up the internet. Like, what percent is porn? What percent of the internet is porn? What percent of it's like marketing stuff? What percent's like just like, what percent's like economic sales? What percent's education? That kind of thing, like what makes up the internet. I think that'd be an interesting-ish stat to be able to read up on. I feel like that'd be something I'd definitely be into. It's just, it's new, it's neat. I guess there's the other thing apparently has recently come out is the Steam machines, which I'm just like bouncing from topic to topic here that don't relate to each other at all. But the Steam machines that people are apparently, I don't know how well they're selling, but it's just, like you're essentially paying $800 for a $200 computer. And it's just, it's, I don't see why you would buy one, like, for the price that you could just build like a media center PC for a lot cheaper, and you could buy one of those things. And are we getting a good line through this track, I wonder? I always screw up these freaking on-offs. I can never get fast enough to get the third one. I always crash that. I always case that and crash. Oh, that's nice. I saw another quote. There's an Israeli officer that told a Palestinian refugee camp that they will, quote-unquote, gas them until they die. Good old Israel. People are like, oh, my religion's not violent. It's like, that's a lie. That's the source of... People aren't going to like to hear this, but the source of just about every war that's happened on the planet has been religion. Like the Crusades, religion-driven. The Holocaust was targeted against the Jews because their religion was different. It's like the Israel and Palestine right now. They're fighting over a bit of sand in the desert because they both say it's part of their religion, so they're killing each other over it. And it's just like, can we just please not be doing this right now? Can we just all get along and not be fighting over imaginary friends? Please, thank you. That's just seems to slow down all of humanity. It's like, let's go kill people. Probably sound like a hippie right now. I don't want, like, war doesn't really, what does it solve? Yeah, occasionally people need a good ass whipping to get them in line, but what's the point? If you think about it objectively, like, why would you, what does killing people solve? What problem does it doesn't solve anything. It's just, unless you're somebody that's trying to get the population control going on, murdering a lot of people in wars is not really going to solve anything. It's just kind of pointless. Like, they set out like a rule book for wars, and it's like, why, if you can agree to rules, can't you just agree to not fight them in the first place and just have a diplomatic solution so people don't have to die for nothing? I just don't get it. Be nice if we didn't have to, if humanity could collectively just get together and act as one, act as humanity, because in the grand, here goes another topic, it's completely unrelated, but in the grand scheme of things, the odds of humanity being alone, just for all of human history, from what I can tell, people have seemed to have in the past been focused on humanity being its one lone survivor, and it was just placed on Earth, and that's it. There's nothing else in the solar system, it's just Earth and us. And it's like, no, the statistical odds of humanity being alone in the universe are so astronomically small. It's just accept that we're not alone and stop trying to write everything around that idea. It's not. You can pretty much say you're just flat out wrong. So the universe is such a big place, and we know of a few Earth-like planets, and that's just our little slim knowledge of our tiny little thing in the scale of the universe. There's life somewhere else. That's a thing. Just stop trying to assume humanity's the only thing, because eventually, if humanity is going to ultimately become a better civilization, and the more advanced people, they're going to be able to walk the stars, so to speak, we need to just act as humanity, as one species, sort of, type thing. Everybody united under one, instead of having a bunch of countries, we would just have one race or one species that we would have to be united as and work together to solve problems, work together to make the Earth a better place, work together to, like, build rockets and stuff and go explore the universe and see what else is out there. That's, ultimately, humanity needs to act as one thing, as one, I want to say one being, but like one party or one nation, so to speak, and just go out and explore the universe, colonize other planets so we're not stuck on Earth, because as our current situation is, when people are stuck on Earth and they're competing over, nobody's really cooperating too well amongst other countries to try and colonize other planets. Like, for all we know, a meteor could just come out of the blue 3 days from now. There could just be a meteor that comes in and ends all life on Earth, and humanity goes extinct and will be forever forgotten. That could happen. That very well could. And there's no other humans colonizing other planets, so humanity just completely stops existing. We're gone. Bye-bye. People don't seem to think in the grand scale of things. It seems to be an issue. It's like, you have to go explore. Like, there could just, another thing, I don't know how to phrase this, because most people probably aren't understanding anything I'm saying, but, and talking about the bigger scheme of things going on in space that you have to consider, you have to think about more than just the Earth. Apparently, the Obama administration, not too long ago, finally implemented a plan to deal with space weather, as it was something to do with if there ever was a, what's it called? An electromagnetic pulse, or like a solar flare essentially, that just knocked out all of the electrical grid on the planet, at least in the United States. The Obama administration now has a plan to deal with that. And am I going the wrong way? No, I'm going the right way. But they put in a plan to actually have something to do, so, because for all we know, sun just could fire off, like in 2012 apparently we got really close to this happening, the sun can just fire off a solar flare that just kills all electronics. It would take months or years to rebuild the power grid, and that could cause mass chaos. And they just now thought of to do something about that. Ooh, we're not gonna be able to transfer that down, are we? But they put in a plan for that, and it's like, oh, that's nice. They're actually thinking about this. Because, like, literally, for all we know, we could just be vaporized into nothing the next day by some random cosmic event. You need to think on the bigger scale of just the Earth. People don't seem to realize how lucky we are to not be on fire right now. Except the Californians. People in California and Oregon know how lucky they are to not be on fire. Which they actually might be on fire. I don't know. Is California on fire still? Anybody got any updates about that? Because it seems like the way news works nowadays is like there'll be a big story, people care about it for about a week, and then people stop caring. It's like California will catch fire again, they'll make a bunch of news buzz, and people will be all concerned and yelling about it for about a week, and then it kind of fades away. I don't know if the fire gets put out or if it's just people just stop caring. It's like that whole Ebola, I don't know how you want to pronounce it, but people are just like, oh my god, we're all gonna die, even though you can't really, unless you're gonna like swap blood and spit with somebody who has Ebola, you're not really gonna catch it. It's kind of hard to contract. But anyway, there's like, oh, we're all gonna die from Ebola, and then a week later, everybody kind of forgot it was a thing. And at least back here in America, where we are civilized, we forgot about it. And it's like, yeah, it was still a thing for a while, quite a long time. I think they're just Sierra Leone just got cleared of it now. I think. Like, it was still a thing, it's just people just stopped caring since it's been a week. It's like, whatever. Hey, remember that thing we worried about a week ago of us all dying? Yeah, that was hilarious. It's just, why does news work this way? Like, the news doesn't promote stories that matter, they promote stories that sell, which is the big problem with modern news. Their main focus are profits rather than actually educating the people of America about what's going on. It's like, there'll be a story about, there'll be a white cop that sees a black... I saw a story about this. There's a white cop that pulled over a black guy. I think a black guy wrote the story. White cop pulls over a black guy. The black guy very politely says, hello, officer. Yes, I am armed. I have a concealed carry on my right hip. It's got one in the chamber. It's loaded. The safety's on. It's got this holster on it, so you have to do this to get it out. You might have some difficulties with it. And he complied with the officer, and nothing happened. It was fine. Went back on his way. It's like, yeah, but then when a black guy starts getting all violent and up in a cop's face and he gets shot, so then people are going to get upset about that. It's like, no. This is not a thing that's common. They make it out to be this thing, oh, this always happens, it's a hate crime. It's like, no. Black cop shoots a white guy and nobody cares, because that's not going to sell as well as a white cop shooting a black guy, because that's what people want to hear, is stuff like that, so it sells. You're going to say, oh, well, I don't want to hear that, that's awful. It's like, if you don't want to hear it, then the news wouldn't be playing it, because they know what people will react to, and we'll get a knee-jerk reaction out of people, and there's another thing to discuss right quick. I'll probably stop about half an hour for a test video of like this. If you guys want more just like random, I don't know if I'd call this a podcasty type thing, but just kind of talk about stuff that's not really related to motocross at all, and let me know if you guys want this type of thing to continue in the future. But compliance with the police, there's something you need to comply with them. For any reason, if a cop pulls you over and tells you to get out of the car and put your hands up, you damn well better put your hands up, because for all they know, if you're not putting your hands up, you could be going for a gun, you could have a weapon on you that could kill them. They can't take chances. Like, if you're not going to listen to the police, that's your own fault. You've got no right to be upset about whatever they do to you. If you don't comply, they can't take chances like that, because the one time somebody doesn't comply, it's like, oh, he's not putting his hands up, it's okay, let's just let him do that. The guy could just pull out the gun and shoot the cops. They can't take a chance like that, because if they do, they'd be dying. It's not safe. Like, there's that video of the girl that got smacked out of her chair or whatever in the high school, I think it was. The cop just, like, yanked her and threw her over. Yeah, she wasn't complying. They told her to get out of her seat and go with the police officer. They told her to go. She would not go. For all the cop knew, she could have had a weapon on her or something and done some serious harm to him. You can't take chances like that. People are gonna say, oh, you can't say that. That's not fair to say. It's like, yeah, no, it's plenty fair to say. If you're in a bad neighborhood and you pull somebody over, are you gonna just be all willy-nilly like, do whatever you want, I don't care? That's how you die when you're not careful. That's how you die when you don't. You gotta be careful. You can't just assume everybody's gonna be nice, because that's not how the world is. Especially if you're in a neighborhood, you gotta be careful if you're white in a bad neighborhood. You don't want to commit a walking that while white now. That's a very serious crime to commit. That was obviously, hopefully people don't take that seriously too hard. I mean, it was a joke. It was a very, very probably offensive. Oh, we're doing a super, we're launching that jump. Oh god, front flips for days. Actually, we need to talk about sim right there for a minute. We'll pop onto one more track, I guess, and try and throw out some sort of a lap for the video to close on out here. Let's go to, like, these 2010 tracks gotta be easy to do, right? Let's go to one of these. As I try and think of something else to talk about that's sort of relevant to anything in reality. Oh yeah, right. This whole thing, people are worried about ISIS. Apparently, I don't know if people are still scared of them or not. It's been more than a week, so I'm assuming people don't really care about ISIS anymore. But if they were actually here in any sort of presence that would matter, people would be dying left and right. Like, if ISIS was here, they would just be, like, flying drones into spectator stadiums and just bombs strapped to them and just... They like just take an autonomous drone, strap a bomb to it, they'd fly into the stadium and kill 10,000 people, and just have one after another have them autonomously fly in. And even if the bombs didn't kill anybody, people would get trampled, it would create mass hysteria. If they were actually here, that would be happening. And knowing that that hasn't happened, they are not here. And I trust Border Patrol to do a pretty good job about choosing who to let into the country. And yeah, they're not gonna. If they actually were a threat, something would have happened by now. I would not worry about them too much, especially when in America, if you got a carry license, I really wouldn't worry about them because you can just put them down. There's another thing. If you're gonna carry, don't open carry. Open carry is just useless. Get a concealed carry license. If you're gonna try and open carry a gun, you're not making yourself safer. Because if you're an open carry, you're just set yourself up to be the first person dead in any event. Like if you're at like a Walmart and somebody wants to shoot up a Walmart and you've got like your open carry 1911 on your hip, they'll just see you with the gun and shoot you first, so that you can't fire back at them. That's all that really does. It's like, why bother? There's one more topic we'll close out. I guess the idea of gun control. That doesn't do anything. Like, gun control will solve nothing. If you put more restrictions on it, that's just going to make it harder for law-abiding citizens to defend themselves, and people seem to ignore this fact a lot. Like, the drug control problem, they've tried to, like, at least in areas where marijuana is still illegal, cocaine's pretty sure it's illegal everywhere in America, heroin, all that's illegal. What have the laws regarding that done to stop people from using it? Not too much. If people want to use it, they will find a way. And if you try and outlaw guns, people will they'll just get them anyways, and it's just gonna make it harder for people to do it legally, or law-abiding citizens to do it. It doesn't work. It helps nothing. So with that idea, I'm gonna just leave you guys here. Let me know what you think about these types of videos. If you want more of this kind of random garbage nonsense talking about stuff while I play games, or maybe while I'm not. I don't know. Let me know what you think about this. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching as I transfer into these whoops. Oh, I want to see how long can I keep this line going without crashing? That long, apparently. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll see you guys in the future.